Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And we got a special episode for you. We're going to do a deep dive into the astrology of TAYLOR HALE.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'm so excited. I can't believe she is back with us. We're going to talk about all of her planets, her stars, her birth chart. You guys, please welcome Big Brother winner, TAYLOR HALE.
Hi.
Hello.
This is so exciting. Truly. I was always the girl that just loved reading horoscopes and magazines growing up. I was a big magazine girl. But now that we're really diving into astrology and what it means and how your whole chart is the full picture, please someone break it down to me. It's like math. I don't understand it. So I'm so excited to be here.
Well, just to start then, like, what do you actually know?
Yes.
Like, you're saying that you kind of went into looking at horoscopes and stuff like that, which, like, I think all of us probably did in this group anyways. So what is your experience with astrology and what do you know?
So astrology in the most classic sense, I was a magazine girl. I loved reading what the horoscopes were. And then, of course, I have downloaded CoStar. I've downloaded Saturn. And so I have, like, I know, like, my Venus is in
Scorpio.
Scorpio, yes. That one.
We know.
Interesting stuff happening there. So I have like very, very high level ideas and only the ways that CoStar will break it down for me. So I think it's fun and interesting, but I need someone to like take the birth chart and really tell me all about myself. So
yes.
Well,
here's a fun tidbit for you and everyone else in the chart in the chat. When you read your horoscope, you actually should be reading your rising sign. And most people don't even know their rising sign because you have to have your birth time for that. They only know their sun sign. That's what most people talk about. But when people are writing a horoscope, they're talking about your houses and placements, and that comes from your rising sign.
So when some people say like, oh, this doesn't really suit me, this is kind of off, it's really because it's not actually speaking to you, because you're usually looking at your sun sign, which is traditionally what we all know for sure. We know when our birthday is, we can figure out where that falls in our horoscopes, but actually we need to know our rising sign to really have it to be extremely, it usually hits home. You're like, oh, that really makes sense for me.
And another interesting thing is that if you're born at night, you have a night chart, your moon is actually a stronger placement for you than a sun. Sometimes people are like, I don't really vibe with my sun sign. It's probably because you're born at night and you probably relate more to your moon sign. Now, TAYLOR was born at night.
Yes, I was, but not last night.
That's right. But guess what? Your sun and moon are the same. So
yes,
we are gonna look at it. TAYLOR was born December 31st, 1994 at 6:18 p.m. in Detroit. Look at this gorgeous chart, TAYLOR.
Oh, she's a beaut.
She's a beaut. Love her.
She's heavy Capricorn. We know that.
That is the first thing we're going to notice. So right over here on the right side, we got what is called a Capricorn stellium. Your sun, moon, Mercury, Neptune, and Uranus are in Capricorn. And that is some boss energy.
Absolutely.
Are we
someone potentially focused on career and really wanting to, like, being successful and doing things fully and really well, because like Capricorn energy is a strong worker, and so you could be very career focused with having all those planets in Capricorn.
Makes sense to me.
Capricorn, they are grounded. They are practical. They are the worker bees of us all. They can just head down,
climb that mountain.
Yeah. Whatever it takes, they'll just keep going. Very responsible. What's interesting about your chart is that this is all opposite your rising. You are a rising Cancer.
Me too. I'm rising Cancer.
Yay! Cancer's rising united.
Yes, it's a beautiful placement to go with your Capricorn, because that actually means you do have vulnerability. Is anyone else triggered by this word after this summer?
There's few words and phrases I never want to hear in my life ever
Yeah,
again.
it was
Vulnerability
hard
is
to
definitely one.
It was hard to say. But guess what? You actually do have access to your emotions. You are a
Wow.
nurturing,
Ooh, what a thought.
sensitive person, but your Capricorn moon says, I'm not wearing my heart on my sleeve. I'm not giving this away to just anyone. I'm going to be cautious and I'm going to wait until I've said, now you're family. I accept you in. You're one of my people. And then they can see your heart.
And what also echoes that, so all those planets on that side of your birth chart, it forms a bucket. And so a bucket is kind of like you are private and people think that they know you, but they don't actually know you because you kind of hold that in. You kind of retain all that information in that bucket that your chart is forming. And so that's also could be how people are not able to see that empathy from you because they think that they know who you are, but they really are not getting the whole picture.
Sounds familiar.
Right? So we got to see a little bit of that this summer. This is obviously something you're probably very familiar with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, who doesn't? I mean, there are plenty of people who wear their heart on their sleeve, and there are some instances where I will do that, but you have to earn my trust first. Everyone doesn't have a right to my vulnerability, my most emotional, vulnerable sense of self. And that's something that many people tend to respect because there are many different types of ways to move throughout the world. And it is totally normal to keep your most intense emotions for the people that you value and trust the most.
I agree. I have some strong Capricorn in me as well. And watching you this summer, I was like so defensive. I was like, stop. I was like, yes, we come across cold, but we're not cold. Like, simmer down, people.
He turned around to me cracking up. There was one day he was like, you think you come across as so cold, but you're just a sweetheart. I was like, yes, I am. I know I am. You're right.
And I got some Capricorn in me too, my moon and my Mercury. So I definitely have people maybe not seeing my, Cancer rising as well. So I've had some similar experiences for sure.
What else I think is interesting about, as we're sort of talking about your Capricorn and your Cancer, Capricorns can be traditional. There's plenty about you that is like status quo, sure, the expected, but your Uranus is opposing your ascendant. And so that says, you know what, actually, I do want to be a little unique. I want to be a little of my own individual. And we'll see that with appearance a lot. Your ascendant is like what you put out. Maybe kind of want to shock people a little bit sometimes.
I mean, look at the wardrobe, look at the outfits, the hair, the makeup. Come on. But yeah, I've always been confident enough to pull it off. So that's who I am. That's who I am.
Yeah, I really felt like that red strappy bathing suit playing pool was a Uranus opposing ascendant moment.
Why not? Just a little, give a little body. It's a summer house, you guys.
Well, I think also just kind of to echo that, I think your South Node being in the 10th house, also it's in Taurus, and Taurus is the sign of kind of like luxury and things that are beautiful. And the South Node is about kind of gifts that you come into this world with. Sometimes it relates to the past, your past life, but it relates to things that you know really well. So you know things beautiful, you know things of luxury, and it's in the 10th house, which is the house of public recognition. And so you get to kind of be on stage, like you are comfortable on stage showing your beauty and wealth and things that are luxurious. And so it kind of all really melds together with like your South Node placement.
This is so funny. It's just like, read me for filth, you guys. Just tell me all about myself. This is hilarious. But no, you're right. Like, I am very comfortable in that arena. And as soon as you said luxury, I was like, yes, check, say no more, done.
A lot of Venus energy.
Also with a Cancer, they're very home and family focused. So you've got
like my bed. in the house.
Yes.
That became
was
your family.
home.
Oh yes, that was my home. That bed was my home.
Oh,
So you've got this
gotcha.
work and career focus from the Capricorn, but you are also home and family driven. I would imagine you're still very close to your parents, and that family is important to you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, y'all saw how crazy, I won't say crazy, y'all saw how active my mom and Grandma Betty were on
So
social
cute.
media. She's almost more famous than me. Like, come on. Fall back.
Who was it that posted all the planets that were in retrograde at one point? Because Sarah was
Yes,
like,
I think
someone
was that
from
your mom?
Oh, no, that was my best friend Chioma. She took over my social media.
Okay.
That I saw that because I've been scrolling through my own tweets for the past summer, and I've been cracking up. She's hilarious.
Yeah, that was perfectly timed tweet. That was a really
Yes,
good
it was.
one.
Yes, it was.
All right, let's see. What should we talk about next?
Maybe Jupiter.
Oh, well, yeah, let's talk about your Jupiter because it is very interesting with the game that you played this summer. You you have Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is the best that you could possibly have for Jupiter. Jupiter being success and
Luck.
abundance, luck,
expansion.
Wow,
Sagittarius is at home there. Sagittarius is like, yes, let's shoot for the stars. Let's do it all. And it's in your 5th house, which is all about creativity, the fun things in life, and very specifically games.
Fun and games.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of luck expansion in the area of fun and games, which is
literally what I did this summer. Okay.
Basically.
Played a 82-day game show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It would also be competitions in general. I mean, most people will say sports, but for you, that's pageants and reality shows, apparently. So when I saw this, I was like, if Taylor had come to me and said, "Oh, I'm interested in being on a competition reality show," I would have been like, "Yes, do it
immediately." Yes, make it happen. Yes,
especially if you have to travel at all, because Sagittarius also kind of deals with travel, a little bit of a distance. So this is
are you
very
priming
good
me for Amazing Race right now?
I mean, that would fit right in there very, 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 very well. It was.
Joseph's right over there. We might
yes
realize Amazing Race sounds real good right now.
Another thing about Jupiter, sometimes there's planets that represent people in our lives. Like the moon can be your mom, the sun can be your dad, Jupiter can be your husband. Do not confuse this with people you date. This is your actual husband. So we obviously don't know who this is yet, but being in Sagittarius, he may be a man of the world from a different nationality than yours.
From a different country, potentially. So
just throwing that out there. That is a thing that is
like a guru. Yes, somebody that loves schooling, like higher education, is the type of person that would be a husband type for you.
Have we? Is this the chart, or are we just?
This is actually the chart.
Is the chart. We're not saying any names specifically. No. We're just talking charts.
Well, because when you look at Sagittarius, it is like, it can be the guru, it can be long distance travel, it can be someone that you look up to, and so it can be a fire sign, and so these are just all just elements of Sagittarius and it's your Jupiter.
We're just reading the planets. That's what we're doing.
Oh my god, that's good. Well, I know who else's chart we need to analyze.
That could be a follow-up.
Definitely. I think
a little
it's a great
synastry.
We know a few things about his chart, but we don't have his time of birth, so we don't know all of it. So we couldn't quite.
I'll just investigate it.
Yeah.
I think I have his birth certificate.
Oh, you're already carrying his birth certificate. Oh. Well, you know what? You guys are both going to like that. So that's great that you're both traveling. And then, like we said, success in games. Hello. That was very, very clear.
That worked out
Well,
pretty
and
well.
also in that same house, you have Pluto there in the 29th degree. And so whenever any planets it's at the 29th degree, it means that like ultimate transformation is about to happen as it's about to move into the next sign, which would be Sagittarius. And so Pluto itself is already the planet of transformation and deep growth. And so with that being in your 5th house, I feel like this summer was also really transformational for you in who you are as a person. And it actually helped you grow in ways that you weren't probably expecting to be growing with coming into, Big Brother game show game. Like definitely.
I don't think anybody was expecting anybody to grow the way I had to grow this summer.
Absolutely. But
yeah, we've never witnessed anything like that. That's for sure.
Wow.
There's quite a few things coming off of what you're saying there, Chantele, about sort of deep transformation. There's a few moments in your chart that sort of talk about a lifelong spiritual journey, learning, evolving, growing, getting in touch with your spiritual side, which can be different for lots of different people. But that's just something that you will do. You've got Saturn in Pisces, you've got this Jupiter in Sagittarius. Like these are things that are lifelong for you.
Ooh, okay.
Also, if you may want to pull up their Chiron. So this is to echo, this transformation and things that you'll be experiencing throughout your lifetime. So down at the bottom, you're going to see kind of like a little K with a circle underneath it. So that's your Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. And it tends to be lessons that you might learn over and over again. And
no. Great.
So with having your Chiron in Virgo, what I've noticed with other people that I've seen their charts, they tend to have people misunderstand them, and the B word, it tends to happen in the workplace. So Virgo is all about like day-to-day activities, workplace environment, and having that wound in that workplace environment or day-to-day activity can sometimes come as like a harassment type energy that is something that you might repeat, like have happened on more than one occasion. And so just know that you are able, with your compassion, and that I believe it's in your 4th house, if I'm not mistaken, like your sense of home and connection to your compassion is how you can work through this. And that's really what you did in this house, is that you didn't allow communication. And that's also makes sense too. Not being able to be understood properly by everyone, not being able to communicate with everyone. The 3rd house is a house of communication. And then, so if you're having your wound in something where people are expecting you to be communicating perfectly, and then it's kind of getting misconstrued, and then it kind of, sometimes it brings in a little bit of like a harassment type thing energy towards you. So knowing that you have that compassion, it really will help you be able to work through if this were to repeat itself in the future.
And everybody saw it on national TV, so don't try me again.
It's true. Oh, and also, do you know what? It allows others to speak up for your injustice too. So it being in the house of communication, which I do feel like the whole Big Brother community and most of America really have been championing for justice for how you were treated this summer. And so that also is seemingly showing up in this placement as well.
Yeah, I love that. This is really cool.
Right. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. 7 a.m. That's some dedication.
Wow. Good morning. Thanks for joining.
Right. Appreciate that. Since we've kind of touched on love a little bit, shall we?
Let's keep going.
Shall we go into most notably when we talk about love and relationships, you look at Venus. And your Venus is in Scorpio.
Yes. Ooh.
Mine is too. And it's not the easiest placement. Scorpio is not at home with Venus because it's not flowers, it's not roses and chocolates. Like Venus wants to be lovey-dovey and romantic, and Scorpio is like, how deep can we go? Let's get into the thick of it. Let's dig down, understand, why someone ticks or like why something is happening. So superficial relationships to you, not of interest. You know, they can kind of come and go. But once you find someone that you like really want to get to know, then you're in it. It's passionate. You're there. It's ride or die. Can be some jealousy.
Ooh, that's
Either
interesting.
on your end, or you might be attracted to jealousy. But
Oh, I think that's more
factors
like
in.
it. Like, I don't like jealous guys, but there is, and I mean, of course, I would rather be with a person that doesn't get jealous ever. But there is something kind of hot about like a little.
That's definitely Scorpio
A
coming
little
bit. Because like Venus is your values and what you your beliefs. And so if you believe that there's some value in some of that Scorpio energy, which can be a little bit of jealousy, type emotional energy, you know, that's something that you value a little bit, even if you don't want to admit it sometimes.
A little bit, just a little bit.
You also will be drawing in to intense connections, intense partners, because when you're in a relationship with them, it's kind of like you want to have a transformative relationship. Like you don't want it to be surface level, even though it's in the 5th house, which is interesting because the 5th house sometimes says flings, but maybe it's like when even if you have a short-term relationship, I think it's going to still be very transformational, very important, very intense, and even though it's in the 5th house, I think that it's still going to be ultimately transformative.
That's so exciting.
Absolutely transformative. I feel like the 5th house means there might be more of these relationships before you settle down.
Yep.
Kind of gives us that vibe that, you know, you're going to date. You're going to get to know some people before you
have some fun.
But not
fully
frivolous
commit.
dating, though. It's still be
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're loyal. I mean, Capricorns are loyal, Cancers are loyal.
Yes.
This, like, there's a lot that says you are loyal once you choose that person.
It takes a lot to choose that person, but once I'm in, I'm like in it.
Another thing about Venus Scorpio is once they cross you, maybe once it's not working out anymore, you're not a big fan of forgiving, and you definitely ain't forgetting.
Yeah, no, all my exes are dead to me. I don't know their names. Their families, they and their entire families are blocked on all social media.
Same.
Yeah, and phone numbers.
I feel
don't
you.
know them.
Oh, I just learned something new. So that's like a trait of Venus and Scorpio. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the block after relationship block is Venus and Scorpio. Cool.
You don't exist anymore. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's how it used to be. Like before social media, before immediate access to people, you would break up with someone, and unless you were still in their social circles, you never heard from them again.
Right.
Why not keep that energy these days? You don't have to exist anymore.
Yeah, I find myself saying like, I don't understand why I have to forgive. Like, I'm not like
no. I'll just move on with my life and not forget.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't mean I'm holding on to anything. Just means you're not part of me anymore. Bye.
Also, Venus and Scorpio gets a lot of attention. They are people are drawn to them, and whether you want it or not. This is what's interesting is like, you know, sometimes as women, we just like stop looking at us, like give us, I want to be out with girls or whatever, you know, that kind of energy, but you're gonna get it whether you want it or not.
People probably find you to be like kind of mysterious and alluring, and they want to know more about you, and they want to get into that really deep conversation with you, and you're like, I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, I don't want to really get into this like locked eye conversation with somebody I don't know right
gets
now.
Access to the bubble.
Exactly. But your Venus and Scorpio is going to draw them in because they're going to want that energy.
Good luck to them.
All right. What about career? Shall we talk a little bit more?
Tell me more.
Your midheaven is in Aries. That is ruled by Mars.
Which one is the midheaven?
It says NC up here.
Okay, got it.
That is called your midheaven, and that's our career. It's also just our our status, the way the world sees us. And so we take that into consideration. We take into consideration that yours is ruled by Mars, and so we look at your Mars and where your Mars is. There's a few things that you look at when you're talking about career. Also, sixth house, where you have all of that Capricorn, is more of your day-to-day work, but not necessarily career. So we look at all of these different things. What we can definitely say is that you're a leader, you're a trailblazer. We already knew that career was a focus for you because of all the Capricorn, but you're going to prefer it be something you're passionate about. The sort of sit at a desk 9 to 5 energy, that's not it for you.
Not at all.
Why do you think I want a big brother?
Not at all. Also with that Aries energy, Aries is kind of like the god of war. And so like you're ready to charge, you're ready to take action, you're ready to fight. And kind of like you're saying with the 9 to 5 thing, that's not going to be stimulating for you because you kind of want to go. You want to be a little bit more active. You probably want to do things with your body. You probably want to like just keep moving. You don't want to be stagnant at all. And so that's probably why you were going to be a comp beast when you came on to Big Brother, and
So I thought. If only Michael weren't there. I did well in comps. Michael was just in too many of them.
I drafted you first on our draft, so I had full faith in you this entire summer. On 2 drafts, I had you drafted first. So
I doubly winning.
Yeah, I mean, all of you actually thrive on competition. Like, you love a good challenge. Like, this is all stuff that you would love to have in your career. Like, give me competition, give me challenge. You also are money focused. You want to make the bank.
Yep. Do it.
You want security in your life. Making money is important to you to have those basic needs. Like, that is important, and you're more than willing to do it yourself. Like, you'll do the work, take care of yourself kind of vibe.
Yep. Nothing will stop me in my bag. I know that's right.
Also, interestingly, though, because your Mars is in Virgo, that leads me to think that anything where you can be of service is going to feel a bit more fulfilling. So even though, you're going to be great as a journalist, like reporting on entertainment news, like you'd be great at that. But the more that you can sort of learn from life and then help others with it is actually going to feel better to you.
I think mentorship has always been big for me, so I could see that easily.
Like taking action with helping others would definitely be fulfilling for you. So maybe philanthropy would work out, or like going in and doing like an expose on something, on a cause that means something to you. I think taking action in a cause that you're passionate about could be something that would fulfill you.
Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind as you take jobs. Yes. I think a lot will come your way, and you'll just
so much happening.
Keep the email open, for sure.
I was going to move on to North Node, Chantele. Is there anything else you want to say in that world? Okay. So here, let's get into something a little more deep, because this is about your karma. This is about your life lessons along this path. And Chantele talked a little bit about, because it's paired with your South Node, which she talked about in Taurus. That's that luxury. You like material things. Here's my question. Do you still have all your clothes from high school? Do you have all of your stuff?
Yeah,
especially if it's really pretty.
I do. I still have all my things. They're still just at home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a karmic path for you in this life, because you like security. You like to, buy yourself these things, take care of yourself. There is this default to sort of collect it all over time and not let go. But in this lifetime, You are going to benefit from letting go, getting rid of things that no longer serve you. You haven't worn it in 10 years. You're not going to need it in 3 years. Is actually going to open doors for you and allow you to receive more.
Okay, well, I'm all about receiving more, so we'll just do a purge when I get back. I'm fine with that.
Making room, and maybe even using that as an opportunity to share it with other people. So maybe it's like, gifting it to different causes or stuff like that. That might be the philanthropy route that you might want to go, is be like, hey, these are all my dresses and gowns that I'm never going to wear again. Like maybe somebody or may never wear again, or but somebody else might find really great use in some of your wardrobe, we'll say.
We're not saying you have to do this right now, but just
my Miss USA gown is not going anywhere. I'll tell you that.
No, that still serves you. Like that still brings you value.
Joy, value.
Yes, exactly. Another part of these life lessons for you is learning to see the value in others opposed to doing it yourself kind of energy. So you, again, you're super capable. Like task at hand, you can just do it yourself. Absolutely. But in this life, there is a benefit to, instead of being task focused of like, I just have to get this done, to actually switch your focus to another person and help them. How can you be supportive of them accomplishing the task? It does, romantic partner, could be a business partner, anybody, but just switching that focus to like, how can I help them be confident in doing this? Or how can I help them to express their creativity, as opposed to you just being like, well, I know that X, Y, and Z makes this work and I'm just going to do it.
It's very do it myself energy. It's very why are you doing it that way energy that I could be working on better. You're not wrong.
I feel you.
I came here ready to be told about myself. It's fine. I know what's happening.
Have you noticed that? Have you felt this?
Yes. Okay, traveling specifically when going to Canada or wherever else Joseph and I will have to end up for appearances. I'm like, no, scan it this way or do this, enter information this way. Have you done this yet? Have you done this yet? And I'm nobody's mom. I should not be micromanaging anybody in the way they operate. And it's not my responsibility. So there it is.
Yeah. These things.
Someone said, girl, we notice on live. Oh, drag me.
It's just something that's going to pop up here and there in life. And then if you just have that information in the back of your mind of like, oh yeah, investigate their motives. Obviously, I'm never going to be supportive of just being like, yeah, okay, you in my life, you can make decisions for me. Like that's not going to work for you. But if you have investigated their motives, you understand where they're coming from now. This is more of that Scorpio energy because your North Node is in Scorpio, of like digging deep. Why is this person trying to help me? Why are they in my life? Okay, it's beneficial. So we're going to work together for a mutual good so that you both can have power. You can both have resources and things and money and all of that stuff.
It's gonna be the hard one for me to work through, but okay, fine.
It's a lifetime. So it's
literally life. Yeah.
You have like 80 years. Like you're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's just one of those karmic things.
Not karma.
Don't worry. Like Sarah and I have the same karmic line, and like I don't think I'm ever going to. I can't even get through it, and I'm like older than you. So yes, it's a life path issue that you get to work on it over and over again. So it'll be good.
Thank you for the super chat, Seth. Yes, I have done Seth's chart. He has worked with me. My mother is an astrologer, Mama Bev. She's in the chat as well. She has done Seth's chart. So all of these are options for other people. The links are all down if you're ever interested in getting readings done or spiritual coaching. These are things that are all possibilities for those. What else should we talk about here, Chantele?
Let's see.
I do want to just say you are about to enter your Saturn return.
Ooh.
We're just going to touch on this
Yes,
because
that's
this is a whole other hour. So,
Oh.
your Saturn is in
no.
Pisces, and everyone hits what's called a Saturn return between 28 years old and 30. It lasts
Okay.
about 2.5 years, and it's one of the toughest times in all of our lives. Saturn is like, hey, I showed up and I'm going to show you where you got to work in your
Let's make
life.
some
No,
rules.
Saturn, why?
Let's be
Saturn.
strict.
Saturn. Things are so good right now. Why? Why?
But guess what, Taylor? You have so much Saturn energy because Saturn is Capricorn.
So you thrive in Saturn.
It's not going to be that hard for you because you understand hard work. You understand a challenge, but it's still going to be work. And the key to going through a Saturn return is just doing the work, noticing the things that pop up, making those healthy choices, and just continue along, because by the time you hit 30, you're like, yes, I survived. It's all good.
Oh, great. I survived.
Yeah.
Well, usually though, if somebody, comes for a reading, we'll be like, okay, so what major thing happened to you during the ages of 28 to 30? And it's usually something like, oh, like this happened, I had to move countries, and like I had to, I broke up with my boyfriend or whatever. It's usually like a big life event, and it's kind of like you're becoming an official adult. And so it's kind of like it is a big transformative moment in your life, and it happens every almost 30 years. And so it's going to happen again when you're almost 60. You're going to have like a big transformation. And so everybody experiences it in their own ways. And like Sarah was saying, like it might not be as, sometimes people have really, we'll say, tower energy of a Saturn return. But because you have so much Saturn in your chart, you are good with Saturn, and you are good with lessons. You are good with learning. You're good with overcoming. You are good with persevering. And so you won't necessarily notice it as much as maybe another person would. So you'll be fine.
I feel better. Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to do just fine.
I was like, damn, I just got out that house, please.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be part of it, right? This definitely could, because you're 28 now, or you're 27?
27. I'm still
no,
27.
well, it starts in March. It starts in
good.
March for you officially. So enjoy this time, I say.
Okay, great.
you get into the weeds after March. So
I'll have a good
just
time.
remember to let go. That's my mom, Mama Bev. She says, let go during your Saturn return. She got me through mine. You'll be fine. Yes. But remember to call us back in March when you start to go.
I'll put it on my calendar now.
Yeah, you're like, oh, wait a minute. What is this? Which actually reminds me, I want to talk about perfection, but
that's, I was just going to ask you. I was like, can you bring out the perfections?
Oh man.
Specialty.
So a perfection is a thing that I like to do. You do it annually to see it's every birth year. So yours will start, at the end of the year. Yours is perfectly timed with the year. Okay. So your year this year was so interesting. As soon as you said your time of birth on the feeds, I was like, and what she got this year. So you had a very lucky year. Oh my God, shocker, everybody. She had a very lucky year. Your Venus, you have a Venus year, and it was perfectly placed. It had none of the struggles. Usually we have like a little bit of Saturn, a little bit of Venus helping us out. And then we're like, that's a typical year. You got a few challenges, but you're going to get through it. But yours was like, no challenges, all of the success. And so obviously we saw you win. Now, I didn't do a deep dive on your next year, but I did peek at it, and it's different energy, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, no, not different energy. Look, it doesn't have to be super perfect. If we could just not struggle, that'd be great.
Yeah. It's going to be more internal. I'll say that. You're going to do some more internal things than maybe external next year.
Fine.
Well, and also will coincide with the Saturn return. So,
and then you've got Saturn and Pisces happening.
Great. I'm so excited.
remember to remember that
Let go.
spiritual journey. Yes, let
Right.
go and listen to that intuition. Listen to the inner Taylor.
Especially with that Pisces energy, because that could also be, listening to your higher self or having your intuitive hits come to you, and like maybe ways to be able to cope through if you have any challenging times coming up, like using your intuition to kind of guide you will help you. And your intuition is kind of that watery energy. It is that softer energy. It is that receptive energy. And so really cultivating that and allowing that to be more present, because, I totally understand having a lot of a lot of Capricorn energy. We're like, go, 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 go. But what you might have to do is, as Mama Beth was saying, is let go, really allow yourself to experience things, but don't try to like go hard for it, if that makes sense.
Oh, well, that sounds like a lot of spa days, and I don't have any problem with that.
Yes, yes, spa day, float tank, spa day.
Yes, right? Yep. Nope. That is the key. That is the key. Yeah. You, like we said, any challenge that comes up for you, all of that Capricorn is like no stranger, like
Got
we know
it.
how to buckle
Nail
down
it.
and get through it. So, Capricorn energy is hard for other people. Saturn energy is hard for people, but you've got those tools already.
Come at me.
Any other questions? Any other things you want to talk about?
Oh my God, no. I mean, you guys hit love, you hit husband, you hit money, you hit career. Oh my God, what is the stuff I need to be stressed about next year? But it's fine.
No stress. No stress.
No.
Just
glide through it.
Okay.
Please.
What does the rest of my year look like? Is it like it's a good end, good tail end? Okay.
Yeah. First off, let me say nothing could be harder than what you did this summer, right? Like,
yes.
I feel like no Saturn return can be harder than that. So I feel like you're on lock with that. Yeah, you've got
that, please.
The rest of this year is still. Here's my question though, because this Venus year is a very fourth house year for you, which is home and family. Was it a big deal for you to leave your family and go on this show? Are you drawn back?
Not at all. I was chilling. I went home the middle of the pandemic in late 2020. So I got to spend a lot of time with my dad, my mom, my grandma. And I lost 2 members of my family on my dad's side. But even then, I'm just closer with my mom's side of the family anyway. So I think I was ready to go. I was ready to leave and get my own life back. I feel like I had the time where I got close to my family again, because I spent 7 years in DC, college and afterwards. And now, I spent 2 years at home. Now I'm ready to totally just pursue my own thing again. Because I miss my independent life. Again, Capricorn, only child, all the things. I miss my own space.
That's interesting. Like maybe there was a bit of you building your own home and family with, new big brother people. These are new people to you, but they've become a bit of a family for you. I don't know. I'm just seeing what the chart says. It's a home and family year for you, and you went out and you built a new family.
Definitely built a new family. I mean, there's definitely, I think of at least a few people that you probably will know for a very long time. So I definitely can see that being part of this year for her.
And all of that successful stuff that we're talking about lasts until your birthday. So you're thriving. Still thriving.
How's it going with Lays? I don't know if I see Lays on the chart.
That is coming along. It's coming along.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I see a star in the shape of a potato chip. I think that's what I'm seeing. That sounds good. Yeah. Just real quickly before we wrap this up, I do want to say, because Chantele and I tried to talk a little bit about your chart before we fully knew it, but we also pull tarot cards to see like how the end of your game. We pulled it in the beginning, and then we pulled them again at the end of the game, and we did get some interesting stuff. But we pulled the Queen of Cups, and we were like, because
what does it mean?
Obviously a queen is a great card, like hello queen bee energy over here, but cups is more. We lost her. We also just She
We
left
moving.
us. Oh my God. While she's doing that, is that Kyland?
I can't tell.
Hi, Kyland. We also pulled the 7 of Swords reversed and the 2 of Wands. If you want to, I just am giving you that information.
7 of Swords. I mean,
Yay!
these cards are
Also,
all
thank you
making.
everybody who's here. I'll just replug that Chantele and I and Mama Bev all provide services, and links are below. Yes, I think Joseph is definitely in her family now.
Absolutely.
You're muted, but you take your time, love. We're still here.
There we go. Can you guys hear me
Okay,
now?
there. Yes, there you are.
Because of course it did.
Is that Kyland? We were like, Kyland? Yay. What I was going to say though about the Queen of Cups is like Cups is emotional love. Like the Queen of Cups is like the love. Now, if you had gotten the Queen of Pentacles, we would have been like, winner.
Winning.
That's
winning.
coin. That's, that's winning the whole thing.
Okay.
So we weren't sure you were going to win the show, but we knew you were winning the hearts of everybody. So we were like, AFP unlock for sure.
Yeah, she definitely was as America's favorite player for sure with this card. And that's kind of when we're like, okay, well, we know she's gonna at least win some money here, and like she definitely deserves the Queen of Cup energy. So that's kind of where we were going, because wasn't a glaring like winning money card.
Right.
But it was. And also, I have to say that goes back to your perfection year, because you have some 7th house stuff. So 4th house is home and 7th house is relationships. And so you were absolutely successful in winning those relationships, those connections with people.
Well, that worked out with those votes in the end for sure.
Exactly.
And then she also had the 2 of Wands, which I just thought now is interesting because you like literally made it to final two. So I was like,
where is it? I can't find it.
Because Turner had the 3 of Swords, and then he got cut at 3, and I was like, oh my God, literally the
That's
3
what
of Swords.
We're like, he might be cut here. And so yeah, we definitely felt that you were making it to final 2. So that was the 3 of Swords. So that's what that card looks like. That doesn't say winning for
for
this
Turner,
game, anyways.
unfortunately. No. And then the 7 of Swords reverse, which I was not sure what that one meant for you, but I think it was like perseverance, wasn't it?
I think it's perseverance, absolutely, because usually this card is like a card of betrayal, or like people speaking wrongly, ill words, because swords are about thoughts, ideas, and the mind. And so whenever I see reverse cards, sometimes it's an internal block, but it can also be that things have shifted, things have changed. It's like kind of the opposite of what the upright position of this card is. And so it shows me that people might have kind of come around to any things that they may be thinking about you or saying about you. And so that paired with the 2 of Wands, which is like holding the world in your hand, looking towards the future with something that you're passionate and creative about, that paired with this now is looking more like a winning hand.
Like a winner. Are these the ones that were at the beginning or at the end?
At the end. This was specifically for your end game. Yeah.
Wow.
And so now looking back, I'm like, yep, it says that she's winning this game for sure. What were Monty's cards? I don't remember.
The Devil.
Right.
And we'll just leave it.
The devil,
literally the devil.
It's not like a bad card, right?
No, it's actually the card of Capricorn. It usually talks about like materialism, things in the material world. I don't know I know you hung out with some Big Brother Canada people, but I don't know if you met Herman. Did you meet Herman?
No, not yet. No.
So he actually also received that card, and so he was out first juror. And so it's not a negative card at all. But it just sounds scary.
Oh, interesting. Anyway,
it's just fun to say. Yeah, it's just fun to say. Even though it's not really the devil. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that is what we wanted to talk about with you. I can't thank you enough for your time.
I can't thank you enough because I'll pull up my chart and be like, oh, I don't know what this means. I don't know what these symbols are, but I want to know. So this was so cool. I'm sorry I'm shaky now, but no, seriously, this was so cool. I feel like I know more about myself. I know more about what to expect for next year. So let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Yes. Don't freak out. Don't
And
fear.
if things come up, we're like, now that we've kind of had these conversations, you can always ask us questions and we will tap in, tune in, pull a card, look at your chart, whatever, just to maybe help you, guide you throughout the next year.
All into the tarot now. All into the tarot, because you guys
yes.
pretty winning hand over there. So we'll just keep going and we'll see what we get in the future.
Yeah. And now remember, like when you're looking up horoscopes, or like today was a solar eclipse, literally, and in Scorpio. Which you probably felt, Taylor. But now read Cancer. Read Cancer, since that's your rising. That's now you know about that.
Oh my God.
Yay.
That was just so cool.
Thank you so much. I do want to plug Chantele as well. Her channel is Reality Realness. It is linked here for anyone who doesn't know her. She also offers services. She's also a hypnotherapist. Hi,
Wait,
Brittany.
did you know the whole the whole coincidence with Brittany and I?
No, I had no idea.
So I do
her hypnotherapy until like the week she was on.
Right. So I do the live feed updates usually once a week with Taryn, who you've met to your deep dive. And so it just so happens I was doing it one day where Brittany was doing like a meditation session. And because I was doing the live feed updates, I'm like, you know what? Let me listen to this whole thing. I usually would just like maybe fast forward through like, you know, the meditation. Like I don't need to see people with their eyes closed. And I started recognizing the patterns of like some of the phrasing of the words and stuff like that. And I'm like, I feel like we got trained by the same person. And I'm like, so then I started being like, wait, okay, what's her last name? So I go and search her last name. I'm like, her last name really seems familiar. And at the school where I got trained, I also facilitated organizing all the workshops.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just had a flash of Brittany Hoops on an Excel spreadsheet in my mind. I was like, did I communicate with Brittany? So I was like, oh my God, this is wild. So I contacted her husband, and I asked him if she was trained by our trainer, and he said yes. And I'm like, well, want to check and see if we had any correspondence about creating workshops. And I'm like, I gave him my email when I was at the school, and he's like, yes, you guys had two email correspondence back and forth about
unbelievable. What?
So I'm in cohort 4. She was in cohort 5. Like I haven't talked to her yet. We're gonna do a little chat about like hypno and like Big Brother and stuff like that. So I literally have emailed with Brittany before. This was in last January.
No, that's
before
hilarious.
Big Brother even happened, and figured it out live with Taryn. Basically, I was like,
I figured this would be like a small community, but this is
right.
Wild. It's too much.
Well, I'm in Canada. Like I'm not even in the States, and it's an online program. Like it's not even like I'm somewhere close. Like I'm literally in Canada. I'm in Toronto.
Unbelievable. Oh my God. No, I'm gonna text her right now. That's
yeah. Y'all need to hook up for sure. Becca, I want to say thank you for the super chat. You've got a Capricorn sun and a Cancer moon, very similar to Taylor. We love it. We love to see that. I'm going to offer, in honor of Taylor, I'm going to offer short 30-minute birth chart readings. So DM me. The links are below if you're interested in that. And Taylor, is there anything you want to plug? I mean, I know everyone's just following you on Instagram right now.
Yes, I did start some Instagram subscription. It's only $4.99, $5. Let's be real. But I post exclusive behind the scenes thoughts and content about what I was thinking when I was in the Big Brother house. So if you want some behind the scenes content on my thoughts, especially for today, now that I'm celebrating 1 month of winning Big Brother as of today, go ahead and sign up for my subscriptions, and I'll be trying to do like once a week updates, things like that are really about what's going on in my life, some exclusive thoughts and ideas that I had, and I can also have a private chat on there. So join. It's just skipping 1 day of a Starbucks coffee, and I will make it worth it.
Yay. That sounds awesome. Thank you again, Taylor. And thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. And if you're joining later, I don't know, give me your sun and moon and rising and tell us everything you love about Taylor. And tell us that.
Thanks, guys.
you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Taylor, did you send her?